DC motors. A permanent magnet motor does not have a field winding or a stator frame. Instead, relies on permanent magnets to provide the magnetic field which the rotor then interacts to produce torque. In a DC motor, an electrical energy input is converted into mechanical energy. DC motors have better speed control and higher torque than AC motors. Fleming's left-hand rule is applied in DC motors to detect the motion of the armature. The picture shows the motion flux and current as follow. To construct a DC motor, the parts are as follow. Brushes, to collect current from the commutator, and are usually made of carbon. Armature windings, they are placed in armature slots which are lined with tough insulating materials. Field coil, to magnetize the poles which produce the necessary magnetic flux path. Field core, to separate out the magnetic flux and also to reduce the reluctance of the magnetic paths. Armature core, to house the armature conductors. Commutator, to convey current from the external circuit to the armature conductors. The input current is DC. For back electromagnetic force, when the DC machine rotates, an EMF is induced in the armature conductors. In accordance to Lenz's law, this induced EMF opposes the supply voltage and is called back EMF. Animation of DC motor. When current is flowing through the armature coil, it receives a torque and starts to rotate depending on the direction of the current. When the coil turns 90 degrees, the brushes loses contact with the commutator and stops the current from flowing through the coil. Due to momentum, the coil does not stop immediately and keeps rotating. When the coil turns 180 degrees, the sides of the commutator and brush will interchange, therefore current will flow in the same direction. Thus gives a continuous rotation of the coil. Types of motor. Like DC generator, DC motor has shunt, series and compound motors. For the shunt DC motor, the field coil is parallel to the armature. As the load increases, the speed decreases. For series DC motor, the field coil is in series with the armature. With just a few turns of heavy wire, the winding resistance is lessened. A series DC motor has a high starting torque but poor speed regulation. When torque reduces, the speed decreases. To prevent runaway, the load must always be connected. DC compound motor inherits the characteristics of shunt and series DC motors. The shunt winding can be wired as long shunt or short shunt. This is the end of topic 7. Today we have learned about DC motors, its theory of operation, parts and types of DC motors.